Okay, hi. So my name is Elaine Johnson, and I'm going to be doing my business portfolio over the Prickly Poppy. Um, it's located on Milwaukee. As you can see, my phone number and email attached to the business are also on this first page. So that'll be the main point of contact for customers as well as the employees. Um, so for the Prickly Poppy, it'll be located at the hub in Milwaukee South. It'll take up the largest portion of the phase two portion. It'll be 2,956 square feet for the building. There's going to be 15 square feet knocked off for a restroom for employees only, not a public restroom. There'll be 450 square feet knocked off for the storage and photo room in the back, and there will be 40 square feet for the dressing rooms, leaving 2,451 square feet total for the company's like merchandise that we're going to keep in there. It's going to be open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, and on Sundays, yes, we'll be open. It'll be 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And it'll have a free-form layout, so the dressing rooms and the storage rooms will be in the very back, and then you'll have clothes on the sides, and then you'll have rounders in the center, and then the checkout area will be in the very front as you're leaving. You can't miss it. So it'll just make it very easy for customers to maneuver through and employees to maneuver through and just look clean and crisp as they look, so that their eyes drawn to the clothes and not everything else. The target market that we're looking for is going to be 18 to 50 years old, with their median age being 30. So for Lubbock, the median age is 30, which is pretty close to what my target market's going to be, between 18 and 50. 30 is pretty close to in the middle, and those women are going to be women who are single mothers, who just got out of college or didn't or whatever, or working business women who are single. So you have the younger people who, have that extra money to spend. We're looking for women who have about 70,000 a year or more. That way they have disposable income that they can spend, so that we can, expect them, maybe twice a month, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, just depends. But that way we know we have constant customers than just someone who decided to walk in one day. We're looking mainly for constant customers who have that money to spend. This group of women makes up 60.7% of the total population of Lubbock, which is a huge amount. Lubbock's pretty large. This number doesn't include the outside towns like Slayton and everything else, but it does include just Lubbock population. So that being said, we're looking for life around 30 miles of Lubbock to be customers as well. So we have all these surrounding towns in Lubbock, and there's no place for them to go when they come to shop for groceries and this and that. They come into town anyways, and so what we're kind of targeting too is the customers that are coming in town, and they may want to stop in while they're buying their groceries for the week, or whatever. And so for Wolforth and Slayton and Tahoka and all these other towns, it's going to be very easy for them to come in, because it'll be like a daily trip. They'll make a day of it. Grocery shopping, let's go to the Prickly Poppy and shop. And so that's kind of what we're looking for here. For the management team, the owner is going to be me. I will have graduated Texas Tech with a bachelor's degree in retail management. I will have worked at small boutiques throughout my time in college, as well as I will have worked at Dillard's. I'm going to be an intern, and eventually I plan to be a part-time sales associate while I'm still in school, and then work my way up to manager, and eventually, see where that leads. So I will have lots of experience under my belt. My responsibilities for owner will be to go to market 4 times in a year for the fall season, the winter season, the summer season, spring season. I'll also have to run the finances for the store. I will also need to make relationships with the vendors, because if I have an item that sells really well and I need to buy more, I don't need to go to market for it. I just need to contact the vendor to reorder. So it's all about making personal relationships with the vendors and with my employees and everything else. I'm also going to have a store manager / co-owner, and she 30 years ago, graduated from Texas Christian University with her bachelor in science for fashion marketing is what they call it there. And she worked in retail for a little bit in college and out of college. And then when she got married, she moved to a small town that did not offer a retail position for her. And so she's now a pre-K teacher. But she's more than qualified. She would be my co-owner, but she would have more in-store jobs where if I need to sit at home and do something for, the day because I have, a family or something else to do and I can't make it to the store, she needs to be at the store that day dealing with it. She'll also be in charge of the employees and training them. I believe that if you train the employees to basically run it, they can run it themselves and no one really needs to be there. You don't have to keep training people over and over and over again. Once they get it down, they don't really need to call a whole lot and ask what to do. So that's what the store manager / co-owner is going to do, is just making sure that everybody's got it all down and that if I'm not there, it's still running like a well-oiled machine. We're also going to have a social media consultant, preferably with an IT or mass communications background. If they don't have one of those two, I hope that I can find someone that would be a self-starter and willing to learn, because anybody could do that position, in my opinion. I've done jobs where I've been a social media consultant for places. I don't have any background on it except for my generation being one that uses social media a lot. So they just need to be willing to work with me, and they'll be in charge of making posts 2 to 3 times a day. They'll be in charge of coming up with ads for TV ads. They'll come up with everything visual that the public sees as far as advertising goes. And they basically can work from anywhere. They'll work 5 hours a day, and as long as they can get the photo shoots done and everything else, they're done. I don't ask a whole lot. They just need to be a self-starter, because if they can't get it all done, then I can't work with them. I'll have 4 sales associates, a couple part-time and a couple full-time. That way I have some college girls that know what's going on and are younger and meet the younger generation. And then we have some older women who this is their full-time job, and they can cater towards the older market that we're reaching to and everything else. So for the merchandise, we're going to have clothes and accessories. So we're going to have tops, bottoms, jewelry, shoes, and a plus size section. We're going to have 40% tops, 20% bottoms, 5% jewelry, because I feel like most women buy jewelry at other places. I just want to throw a little bit in there for them if they want it. And plus size, I feel like, needs to be a large section because not many boutiques sell plus size, and I feel like it limits them. And I want to stand above the rest and get that business from those people that want to wear those clothes that they can't find anywhere else. We will also sell lip scents. Lip scents is a lipstick gloss that women wear that stays forever for the most part. There's only one other vendor in Lubbock, and I would take a lot of the business from the west side of town because she's closer to the east side of town. So that would be a big thing for me. I'd make a lot of money. As well as I'd carry brands such as Buddy Love, Intro, Easel, Judith March, and other little brands like that. One cool thing is a lot of those brands offer plus size clothing, so that'll help with that. For the web plan, we're going to have a brick and mortar store that also sells the same as the website. So it's all going to be run through the same omni-channel. It's going to be Shopify, so anytime someone buys something online or in store, it knocks it out of the system and keeps the count running of how much I have in backstock or in the store. And that helps nothing get oversold or we lose an item or anything like that. The domain for the website is going to be www.thepricklypoppyvid.com. We're going to use Google Cloud as the host for that, so that whenever you go through and you find, type in we'd be one of the top hits on the website. And we're going to have an easy to use website that has a search bar with the tops, bottoms, shoes, accessory, plus size little sections to click on to make it easy for the user. For the industry, the boutiques have just decreased by 2.0% in 5 years. But the number of businesses have grown 1.9%, and the number of employees have declined by 0.3%. So there's a total of 154,730 boutiques located, and there's expected to grow by 560.2% in 5 years. So we're having an increase in boutiques, but the the overall industry is lowering, and so is the employees. So it's kind of one of these games where, what's going to work and how are you going to, make yourself succeed with these numbers that are going on right now. And for advertising and promotion, we're going to use pretty much every social media platform you can think of. We'll have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We'll use those. We'll have a personal page. We'll also pay for ads that pop up on people's timelines that may not follow us to get our name out there. We're also going to have TV ads. These ads are going to be run at 5 o'clock, or is it, I think it's 5:30 is what I decided because the news is on. It's 5 o'clock, 6:30, and 7:30, 7 days a week. So kind of when people are home, they're watching the news, then they're watching, their ABC shows after, they're seeing these ads over and over again. And it's, and like I said, the social media consultant's in charge of making all of these ads for it. We're also going to do different things like pop-up shops. So, if one of my employees or I know like a teacher at a school, well, we can talk to the principal about, one day at pickup, we have a pop-up shop for moms to stop in and buy stuff as they're picking up their kids, stuff like that. Pop-up shops in front of hair studios, pop-up shops in front of, for sororities. We'll be in Lubbock, there's sororities, there's events, we can do it there. We're also going to have student discounts. Bring in your student ID of any college. I don't really care if you're going to school. Heck, yes, bring it. So we're going to have the student discount. It's going to be 10% off your purchase. We're going to have yearly discounts. So we're going to have a warehouse sale once a year. It's going to be in January as we're trying to clean out for the spring stuff. You come in that warehouse, everything's 50% off. I think I'm going to do 2 once a month on random days. You're never going to know. It's just if you come in on that day, you happen to come in on that day, it'll be 10% off your purchase. And we'll also have a loyalty program. So for the loyalty program, it's going to be for every $80 they spend, they get $10 off their next purchase. So I have that in play, but I also... they can add it up. So if someone spends $160, they get $20 off. It adds up in a total thing, and they get to take it off. But they can keep adding it. They don't have to use it on the next purchase. They can save it for later and build and build and build until they decide, okay, well, now I want to use it. And then it carries over. And so, but they still have to spend a certain amount. Now, this may not work like I want it to, and I may have to up the price from $80 to $100 or something else and drop the price. We'll see. This is what I think will work, though, and I think it'll bring customers coming. It can only be used in store, though. I'm not going to let them do it online because that's too many people getting online and using discounts. It's in store only, I think, is a better idea than just letting them willy-nilly decide to do it all the time. And correction on the student discount, it's going to be 15% off. Not 10. The 10% off is the once a month on a random day. We're going to have that. So here are my references for the different things that I had to reference throughout the PowerPoint. Yes, thank you for listening.